Everybody, this is Sherry and welcome to my sewing room. When you first walk in, you walk through a beaded curtain. This is in the basement of my house. It used to be the family room, and you're definitely not going to find anything from IKEA in here. We never used to have one, and everything here is either homemade or refurbished or something like that. So anyway, here goes. So this unit I got around 20 years ago. It's a metal racking that you would find in a store. I think it's called a T-rack, and anyway, these move up and down so you can adjust the height. And I kept this. I used to have a sewing business. Anyway, I got this from Atlantic Shelving. I don't even know if they're still in business anymore. But anyway, I hung on to this one because they're hard to find. And I kept this. So it has 4 spaces. So you can hang quite a bit of things on there. And I have these. They're actually swimsuit covers. There, I'll take one. They're or to put swimsuits on, not covers. Anyway, this has a dress that I started to make and never finished, but just naked lady. Then I have 3 of those. I used to have 5, I think. Anyway, so I'll continue around. So that's that unit. Then bookshelf. This desk was an old desk, and I'm really bad for saving boxes and things for Christmas presents. Anyway, I painted this and made it look that way with you use wax and paint it, and it's to make it look like a chalk paint, but a different way. By using the latex paint and wax, and you just keep painting different colors and then rub wax on, and then you sand it off after, and you can see the different. Anyway, I'm really happy with how it came out, but as you can see, I'm one of those people who cover every flat surface that you can see. So I keep threads magazines. They're right here. I have quilting books here and other sewing books. Over here is desk. Then I have patterns right here. Hi everybody, welcome to my sewing room, and let the tour begin. So right here is as soon as you walk into my sewing room, there is a beaded curtain. And then I just moved this rack here. It used to be in another corner. This is a rack I kept from when I had my sewing business, and it's like one you would see in the store. I think they call it a T-bar rack. Anyway, these 4, they go up and down. Anyway, it's one whole unit. It doesn't take up a lot of room in this. I have quite a large sewing room. Anyway, this is in the basement of my home. And I used to have a sewing business. Did I already say that? This is the 3rd time I've tried to film this video, and then something keeps happening. Anyway. So this is good for hanging clothes on or works in progress. I just moved it because I haven't been using it that much. I hung on to it because they're hard to find, these types of racks. And I actually got into an argument with a girl one time. She wanted me to sell it to her, and I didn't want to. Anyway, so that's how hard they are to find. Anyway, I get this from Atlantic Shelving. I don't even know if they're still in business. It's a local business that sells to stores and stuff. Anyway, so everything in the sewing room is either homemade or something that was built or refurbished or something like that. So using things that I have, or there's definitely nothing here from IKEA, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So this wall here is a pegboard that you can buy from the hardware store, and it comes in sheets, and anyway, it's just screwed to the wall. This area here I was hoping to use for an inspiration wall, and apparently I'm not inspired right now. I'm not really quite sure how to use this area. That's why it's blank. Anyway, so here I have Threads magazines. Here, I no longer get a subscription, but when I used to, I kept them all. I have some sewing books. A lot of them are quilting books and just general sewing. So, and then right here is, anyway, that whole wall is pegboard. My mother's thimble collection, and this is a quilted panel that my mother-in-law, or I guess I should say my boyfriend's mother, gave to me. And yeah, it's really nice. I like it there. It has a lot of neat sayings on it. She gave that to me two years ago. Not this Christmas, but the Christmas before. So then I have a shelf there to put my sewing books and inspiration photos. There's a lot of photos and stuff over there. I have my decoupaged head up there and by my old sewing machine that someone had given me. And then of course Madeline is right here. This is Madeline. Someone had given her to me. There's actually quite a story behind her. She's been drug around quite a few places. Anyway, I covered her. I think you can change her, like she's foam, so you can stick pins in her and stuff. So I just put a cover over her because she was getting really ratty looking. Then I have a lot of pictures that I like to keep around. My boyfriend painted this room for me, I think 3 years ago. Anyway, I couldn't stand bare walls. If you've seen upstairs, I have pictures everywhere too. Some people don't like that, but I really like it. So this is my sewing corner, and that's one thing about down here is there's only 2 plugs. So this is where my sewing machines are. I'm just going to move the camera a little bit. So the table right here is kind of a L-shaped area. So there's a table right here. It's just an old table I bought from my neighbor who was moving for $10, like a dining room table. So that's that right here. Then we have, well, I have my computer. This is old piece of countertop that was my boyfriend fixed to the wall, and it's pretty sturdy for a work area. And then this is my Conso sewing machine right here. It's an industrial machine. I bought this 20 years ago and didn't pay a lot of money for it when I had my sewing business. And anyway, it works really good. And in this corner on all this shelving right here is zippers and buttons and felt, binding, all that sort of thing, all up in there in those plastic containers. And my boyfriend made sure those were nice and secure. And this here is my new sewing machine. Very fancy. So my boyfriend surprised me. He actually gave this to me for my birthday. And it's a Burnett, which is from the Bernina company, Chicago 7. And these are all the stitches that it does. And it has a embroidery unit that attaches to this here. So it does everything. And I think in my last video I told you I was going to be cleaning my sewing room and doing that. So this has distracted me. I've been playing with this. And actually, if anybody has one of these machines, I've been having a really hard time with working the buttonhole. I can't seem to get it to work properly. And yeah, I need help with that for some reason. And it's very easy. I watched the video and I understand how it works, but I can't get it to work. So that's been distracting me from starting any new projects, I guess. So believe it or not, I did tidy up down here. So there's bulletin board above my industrial machine, and then so then my serger is right there, and these are my 3 favorite pictures hanging on the wall right there above my serger. So that's my serger station. And then I have this is a cart. Well, this is boughten, but it's definitely not IKEA or anything. It's just a Rubbermaid rolling cart. And I keep all my thread in that unit right there. So this is my sewing little cubby hole, and I'm going to take you over. I'm going to have to pause this because I got to move everything. Okay, so now you just seen, there's my 3 favorite pictures, my serger, that's the electrical box for the house and that green cabinet, the second plug, very exciting tour. Then there's a chalkboard right here that I use quite a bit. I found I was always writing stuff down on a little piece of paper, losing the pieces of paper, finding pieces of paper, not knowing what they were for. So my boyfriend made me this chalkboard, and I do all my math and figuring, and anything I need, I write it down there so I can just take a picture of it with my phone, or anyway, it comes in really handy, and then I can just erase it. So I have some inspiration type drawings around. As you can see, I have a lot of those. And then in this corner is another clothing rack I kept. I have a pair of legs. Actually, there's 2 pairs of legs there from my sewing business. And I have some storage of patterns, interfacing, scraps in one of those crates. And if you're wondering, so this is the ironing board is kept right here. The pop bottle I have in that basket is to put water in for my iron, and now we are over to the fabric wall unit that is full. Embarrassing. Anyway, this is the cutting tables. They're whoops, moving you around a lot. There's it's finally cleaned off. I have 2 tables that are different together. Trying to get the camera so you can see. There we go. Oh, moving you around a lot. So this is an old dining room table. This one here is a metal office table that my mother had bought in an office closing sale or something. And I only have the one cutting mat, which I use all the time and works great. As you can see, I have another pegboard wall, and that's where I store all my tools and stuff. I do have music, and this of course is a homemade unit at a 2x4 and 1x4. It's just been painted. And I have those baskets from when I used to have my business. And this is where all the fabric is. I guess there's 3 levels. And then there's stuff in the baskets. But yeah, and that's actually cleaned up. Because as you pull things out, it gets messy. So... and I want to get cutting some stuff out. I have a lot of things that I want to try and do. So that is basically my sewing room. I don't know what else there is to tell you. I have a lot of totes and laundry baskets and stuff full of fabric. And as you can see, I use the baskets up there. A lot of this stuff is left over from my business when I had that. And in here, I have a rolling chest of drawers. I got this chest for free. Someone had given it to me. It doesn't have cedar in it. And where this is in a basement, things do get musty down here, so I have to, I have a dehumidifier that I run all summer long. Anyway, this is an old beat up chest, and I keep my patterns in here. That way they don't get wrecked, and I find it's easier. I can just haul it out, and it's on wheels. My boyfriend put wheels on it for me, so I could move it around really easy, and yeah, it works good. So that is my sewing room, and yeah, so there's a broader view of it. It does look very cluttered and messy, but it's my mess. I try and keep it neatish. Well, I hope you enjoyed the tour of my sewing room.